Nick. Yes. 2 sets of minutes. One from 1-3, the organizational meeting we couldn't do because we didn't have 2 trustees. So Mike can't vote on that one. And then the 12th, you can't vote on that one.
The 1/12. We should have had. Okay. You're right.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't have to have the cards? You can't just walk in. So I need to get this Carter figured out.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. I would like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. Roll call for attendance, please.
All those in attendance, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Here.
Sue?
Yes.
We have a full board.
All right, if everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor.
Heavenly Father, we thank you so much, Lord, for keeping all of our department heads safe and sound. And Lord, we thank you for all the wisdom that they exercise day to day to run this township. We pray that you be with them as they all have to travel the next day or so for these special meetings. We pray that you give them safety and travel. And now we ask your hand of blessing on this meeting as well. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, announcements and correspondences. Sue, do you have any announcements or correspondences today?
Yeah, I have an announcement. I received a call from a resident, and she was just very, very thrilled with the road department's work on the roads in front of her house. And she suggested to me that we dispose of the fire chief and the police chief and take their wages and give it to the road crew.
Well, Dave might like that.
They would like that. So I wanted to share that, but she says, I just can't believe it. We're better than Akron. Our road crew
Wow,
is
that's
just
saying a
excellent.
lot.
So if she doesn't have to break into her house or need the spot.
Dave, how much did you pay her for that comment?
It started out nice.
Yeah, did it sound like Becky?
Yeah. All right, Mike, do you have any announcements? No. Okay, I do have one correspondence from NOPEC. They sent a letter. I'll turn this over to John, but congratulations, Brimfield Township is receiving the NOPEC Energized Community NEC grant in the amount of $23,984 for 2022. They go on to say, please accept your 2022 NEC grant award by completing your community profile by June 30th, 2022. The 2022 NEC grant will no longer require applications. Simply accept your funding by June 30th and complete the profile steps of the process, then draw it down for eligible uses via disbursement request by November 30th, 2024.
Oh, that's good.
So our NEC NOPEC energy grant this year is $23,984.
Oh,
So
that's good.
I got that one. I got a copy.
You got a copy too?
So we got that, and we've already started the process to get that all finalized. And then we're trying to get a list together of items again.
Do you remember what it was last year?
Yeah.
Is that,
It
Is
was
it higher?
about the same amount.
About
is that the same one we get every year?
Yeah, it's our NOPEC energy grant.
So it went down.
It
I'm
went
not
down.
complaining.
It was like 24,000.
It was 34.
Was it 34?
Yeah, it was 34.
It was
last year.
34 for 3 years.
Well, we had a hard time.
I'm not complaining. It went down then.
Right.
So what we were thinking right off the bat is because we put off the sign over at the police department for years.
Right.
I know the fire department doesn't need anything.
I don't want
We
any.
beat the road out of everything they ever needed. So
I'm
if he
not
ever does need
replacing
anything else. So that might be one of them. And then we're actually looking into upgrading the sign in the front to get quotes on that to see how much that will cost.
The one in the front?
Yeah, in front of the,
It's not working?
no, it is, but it's 15 years old too. So I don't know. if there's-
Technology has changed. The visuals can be better.
So we're looking at that if it's, because we've done everything we could possibly
What
do
sign
here
was that?
anymore. I mean, we've locked in. Right, the only thing we could do are
About
these
3
windows
years.
on the top.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
But we're
Probably
putting,
would not be a bad thing.
we're putting
John?
this together.
You're talking about the sign in front of the police department?
Yeah,
Well, that was put up by the Lions Club. I think it's not even 5 years old, maybe 3.
But we were thinking more of an electronic sign that they could post messages out on. It's a hand one now, but they need to go out and put letters on to do
Do
it.
we
So
want to have any correspondence with the Lions Club then?
No,
That was over $5,000 to put that.
Well, they could move it,
Put
you know,
that in.
into the road coming in from the cemetery, Sue, and they could have 2 signs.
we're just looking for ideas to use that money because we have to come up with something.
So then move the one from the police department that is there now and use that then in the cemetery for whatever?
You could, a lot of people drive through the
Well,
cemetery.
repurposing would be better than pitching it. Okay.
I mean, there's gotta be some alternative.
Yeah, there's other, okay, all right, we're all right.
So thank you. I got that. Thank you.
That's what we,
Okay,
you know,
just wanted to make sure you
we'll
got that.
research that a little bit more.
Yeah.
The next thing is, and this will actually need to be an amendment to the agenda. I got this certified road mileage came in the mail today, so I don't know if we want to approve that. So that's a correspondence from Mickey's office. It looks like we were at 44.532 in 2020, and they took us just up to 44.751 for 2021.
Which one did they add?
Maple Crest.
Oh,
That's just the Maple Crest stuff.
okay.
Because we still don't have Cranberry Creek yet.
Right, Cranberry Creek has not been
Okay.
deemed ours yet.
So,
Cranberry Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of cul-de-sacs.
so,
Okay.
but this will,
We need to add that to.
yes, this needs to go on the agenda. It'll be under road department, 2C as in Charles, road mileage acceptance. That's all I have for announcements or correspondences this week. We have no meeting guests. So we have meeting minutes. I'd like to make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from January 3rd, organizational meeting.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Mike, you absent? Okay. Nick,
Yes?
Sue,
yes.
motion passed.
And then I need a motion for the 1/12, January 12th Board of Trustee meeting.
I will make that motion.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick, you were absent?
Abstain.
Sue,
yes.
okay, motion passed, thanks.
Next on our list is the agenda. Need a motion to accept the agenda.
We have to add,
Yeah, we need a motion in a second first.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that motion. We approve the agenda.
I'll second that. All right, open for discussion. The first change on the record is going to be Road Department 2C as in Charles for road mileage acceptance. Department heads, are there any other changes that you have to the agenda?
I have,
Okay, John?
I have, first half Charles under fiscal office, so it'll be 1A, 2A.
2A is approved advances.
Yep.
Okay, so it's already on there?
How would she put it on there ahead of time? Ah, good job, Michelle. Had a sticky note to do with it. She
Okay.
already did it before she brought it up. Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, hearing none, roll call for acceptance of agenda.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the purchase orders.
so moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Mike?
Discussion on that real quick. John, did you get my text
I
last
did,
night?
I didn't have a chance to look into it, but I'll fix it.
You'll fix it, okay. All right, we just had one PO that was written twice, so. small
The
piece.
one thing, just so you know, when that's in the system, just so you know how that works in UAN, it'll
Okay.
pop up as a duplicate and
Okay,
it won't let it go
it
through.
won't let it go through, okay. I just saw that, I just wanted to make sure that we got it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, for POs, all those in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Sorry. Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes,
Motion passed.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for warrants.
I'll second it.
Nick, did you make that?
Yeah, I'll make the motion, that's fine.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
yes.
Motion passed.
All right, this is now public comments and questions. We ask that you please state your name and address before addressing the board and limit comments to 5 minutes. We will open it to the floor.
Bill Anderson, 2473 Acorn Avenue. Portage County wastewater. Guys stopped me, or stopped in front of my house and was wondering whether the township removes the snow out of the cul-de-sacs. like they do in Rootstown supposedly. I told him I didn't think so, but the snow piles down in the cul-de-sacs are starting to get pretty high. And he was having issues trying to get his big sucker truck down the drive at the end of April. Short of a dump truck and a backhoe, I don't think you can get it out of there.
I live in Rootstown, they don't.
Well,
we're running a lot of issues. People are pushing their driveways out this big snow and pushing it right to the cul-de-sac to the center.
that's
So,
exactly what happened to them.
right. So the trucks end up, instead of cleaning the cul-de-sacs up, since they can't, they just kind of push it together because the next thing I'll get is, why'd you put it in my front yard? Now my sidewalks.
Exactly.
Right. So.
The kids love it. They have all kinds of igloo holes in those big piles. So keep that in mind if you hit those big piles, don't hit them during the day because the kids are.
No, yeah, but that's where we're running issues. A lot of people in the cul-de-sacs are now just pushing their driveways straight out, right? And again, if we push them into their yard, you bury the sidewalks, and
Right.
it's not. I mean, normally we don't have snow hanging around us. I mean, you hate to say that.
57 days till spring.
Yeah,
It's counting.
I'm hoping it's spring quicker.
All right, anything else? All right, no other comments from the public? If not, we'll move on to safety concerns. Are there any safety concerns we should be aware of?
I think Bill just alluded to it.
Watching the kids in the snow piles. All right, anything else?
No.
All right, hearing none, we'll move into the business portion of our meeting, starting with police department. Roy, the floor is yours, sir.
Thanks, Nick. I just have a few items for you this morning. I wanted to let you know, based on the nomination of his peers, Officer James Carosi has been selected as our Officer of the Year for 2021. James is going to be getting recognized by the Kent American Legion. They do an annual Law and Order recognition dinner, and that's going to be taking place on Saturday, February 19th. So just wanted to put a note out there recognizing Officer Carosi on his nominations by his peers for being Officer of the Year. Secondly, wanted to make the board aware that we had a vehicle that had been seizure forfeited that's been back in our impound lot for a while. It was a 2007 Ram pickup truck that wasn't running. We utilized our Gov Deals account and ended up doing an online auction to sell that. And we ended up selling that vehicle for a little over $18,000. So it was $18,122 was the final sale price. Craig, I don't know if you put any bids in on that.
I wanted to give you two. So that went way higher than what I would ever imagined.
Apparently the engine in that vehicle is the value piece. I'm not a car guy, but I'm told by the folks that are car guys that was the piece. So at any rate, the final sale price on that was $18,122.
That's great. Do you have any other cars you need to
No,
auction
that's the
off?
only one we've got right now.
That's all that's left?
That's all that's left.
Will that,
Unless we get another one through a case that comes down the road. That's
What about the
forfeited.
military vehicles?
Those have all been,
Everything
yeah, those are all out.
will that not remain MC?
Yeah, we may, right now, we're parking some of our cruisers back in there just to free up space in the lot.
Well, what
with,
about the one
snow
that was a
clearance.
dare vehicle?
We may still have that, actually, you know what, that small Jeep may still be back
So
there.
we'll have to.
But
So
the,
that-
yeah, but the
You don't
tracked
use it
vehicle,
anymore?
not really, no. That tracked vehicle and that other MRAP, those were taken out years ago.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I know they had one they had all done up for
Yeah.
a vehicle.
I think that one is still back there, now that I say that, yeah. I do need board authorization to process a purchase order in the amount of $3,204.70. It's payable to the city of Stowe for Brimfield Township Metro SWAT fair share fee for 2022.
I'd like to make the motion to authorize the payment of $3,204.70 to the city of Stowe for Brimfield Township Metro SWAT fair share fee.
No second.
Any questions on
In
it?
favor? Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. Final item is the resolution to proceed. I put a copy of this document in the Dropbox file. This is a follow-up to the resolution of necessity that was taking place on January 12th. This is for a replacement police safety levy on the May 3rd ballot. And you should have a copy of that to take a look at.
Yep. Roy, does any of this change with the updated tax pieces, or it's still the same because we're still going for the same millage?
The initial numbers that we had from that with the triennial update that the auditors did, there was a slight adjustment to that. So the replacement cost for this levy will be $40.40. If you want it for comparisons purposes, I'll just put that out there right now. Comparing this to the November 21 levy that failed by about 65 votes, this is about a 40% reduction in cost. So that was $68. This one is going to be at $40.40. I'll also compare this to our 2016 replacement levy. That was also a replacement levy that we did back in 2016. We're asking to raise almost the identical amount of money off this replacement that we asked for in our 2016 replacement. But again, at a lower cost. Our 2016 replacement was $60 annually. The cost for this particular replacement is going to be $40.40.
Okay. All right. And just for clarification, because we are reducing the cost by 40%, it's because we're changing what we're able to do with that money. But this will get us one more patrolman.
Yeah, if you're looking at what the meat and potatoes of our November levy was going to try to increase staffing at the department, we're going to do a minimum of 3 coming on board for the Department of Growth. We're not going to be able to do that with this. I think what we're looking at now is we'd like to add 1 to our staff. Other than that, it'll be mainly operational needs going forward for at least a 5-year window to get us through. But primarily, we'll be trying to add 1 full-time position.
Okay. All right. I would like to make a resolution to proceed with placing on the ballot a replacement of a portion of an existing continuing levy in the excess of 10 mil limitation for police protection pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.19J, 5705.192, and 5705.25. The Board of Brimfield Township Trustees, Portage County, Ohio, amended a regular session on the 26th day of January 2022 at Brimfield Town Hall, Kent, Ohio, with the following members present: Nick, Mike, and Sue. Whereas on the 12th day of January 2022, the Board of Trustees passed a resolution declaring the necessity for the purpose described in ORC 5705.19J to replace a levy on a tax in excess of 10 mil limitation at a rate of 3.02 mils for each $1 evaluation, which is increase of 0.32 mils from the existing continuing levy. The Portage County Auditor has certified to the Board of Trustees that the dollar amount of revenue would be generated by the 3.02 mil replacement tax levy will be 0.302 for each $100 evaluation based on the current assessed valuation of the township of $339,502,150. Resolved by the Board of Trustees with at least 2/3 of all members elected thereto concurring that the Board of Trustees desire to proceed with the submission of the question of a replacement of a portion of an existing levy at a rate of 3.02 mils for each dollar evaluation, and which amounts to 0.302 for each $100 evaluation to the electors of Brimfield Township. Resolved that the replacement tax levy will be for a continuing period of time if approved by a majority of the electors voting therein. Resolved that the township fiscal officer is hereby directed to certify not less than 90 days prior to the primary election to the Board of Elections, Portage County, Ohio, a copy of this resolution dated January 12th, 2022, along with a copy of this resolution to proceed, together with the certification of the Portage County Auditor, and notify the Board of Elections to cause notice of the election on the question of the levy of the tax to be given as required by law.
I'll second that.
Any questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, roll call.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right.
And
Anything else for us?
that's all I have for you this morning.
Any questions for the police department today?
No.
All right. All right, hearing none, just make sure you pass on to James Crozy, Jim, that congratulations on the Officer of the Year award. Proud of that, and I think you have an amazing staff over there, and it's always good to see those pieces being recognized.
I'll let him know. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to fire department. Craig, floor is yours, sir.
Okay, just updates from me. 2022 budget and 2022 appropriations are being worked on for the anticipation of meeting with John to set the budget here in mid-February sometime, I'm assuming, John?
Mhm.
So
Yep, we're
just
still
giving you an
on
update on that. This is kind of admin and fire, but I've tasked everybody with getting in their wish list, let's call it, and budget requests by the end of this week. So Cassie, Mike, just so we know on that. Fire station work, it's halted. I mean, they can't do anything. It's going to be halted for a couple weeks until the snow goes away. They've still brought in a couple things. I've met with Scott a couple times, but he's there for a couple hours a day. There's nothing for him to do right now. This was built into the timeline, so it's not like it's throwing us behind. They build in this wintertime work into that timeline.
Greg, I can't remember, what was the date that we had out there for the fire and then the admin to be completed?
Well, the full completion is like July of 2023, so like a year and a half. So that's the full completion. Could speed up, shouldn't slow down because then they'll owe us money. So I assume there's enough fluff in there to get it done prior to that. But
I'm just trying to think of lease things and moving and all that stuff at the current location for everybody.
Yeah, we never really had an original date. We finally settled on this date. I did just talk about that. I did talk to USDA. I did talk to the architect and said, hey, I can't just say yes. How do you guys feel? They all basically came back and said, getting product, it is what it is. We have no choice but to accept what they lay in front of us. So
Could I have that date again, please?
July of 2023 should be the completion date.
John, it's going to take us a month or two to get everybody moved in after that. So I anticipate we're probably going to be through the majority of 2023.
I just had a question from him the other day. He didn't know how long.
I don't know if it'll take too long though, because remember we'll already be moved over out of the way, and those will be being built.
Right.
So when we have to move everything, we'll have our shuffle done. I don't know.
It's no problem.
In the shuffle of new people in, we have anticipated in there new furniture and everything. So majority should be able to walk in pretty quick.
Right.
And sit down. So I don't think it'll be as long as what we think. So
Yeah, I'd rather have a little fluff in there though, just in case.
Right.
So
Right.
Okay.
Snow has been a nightmare for transports. The extra hands of the fire department has helped. Dave's been courteous to be on kind of call for us if we get something. If we get grandma stuck at our house 200 foot up the driveway, we got people on standby to kind of help us. We haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had that situation, but I think we're expecting a little bit more snow coming, so it's not going to go away for another couple weeks. So just if you're getting calls from residents, you just got to be patient with all of us, road department and fire and police. We're trying our best. Last thing with the update, it's not on here. We did sign a couple meetings ago. We signed to go to Kent City Dispatch. Kent City Dispatch signed and brought it back to us. We settled on a date that'll be August 1st of this year. Will be the changeover. One really nice thing in that we'll be probably bringing back and going to what's called a brick system with them. That'll allow, just to explain that a little bit, as the dispatcher's typing, it comes voice to text to us. So we don't have to wait on the dispatcher. It's gonna bring our service level up as far as to getting the house much quicker. As soon as the call comes in, Google Maps shows a picture of your house, street view, and you can put it on any TV. Mike, you could have it on a TV in your house. You can see it. I mean, anybody can have it. It's going to be a very nice upgrade for us and our residents. I mean, we'll just be able to get there quicker with better information because it's a better system.
So it brings up the Google Maps from whenever they had it out there.
Correct.
So we're not getting a current.
Correct. It's not going to be a live.
Well, I just didn't know because I would help you today knowing that, you can't get down grandma's driveway because it's covered in snow.
No, it's not gonna help with that, but we'll get the live update. So here's a good example. Unresponsive. I hate the word unresponsive because that could be dead, diabetic. There's a wide range of that. So as they're typing, we'll get live updates coming through our apps and our phones and through voice to text. It sounds like your Amazon if you have an Alexa. So it's a kind of a very, did I just set it off?
Yeah.
See, they're listening. Right. It's a very clear, precise thing in that Kent will be going to the same thing. So we'll all be playing in the same sandbox. There is a cost to it. John will have to talk about that, but
Gotta do it.
it's a technology upgrade. And like I said, the cell is going to be, we're going to get to houses quicker with
Yeah,
better
no, it's-
information. So,
We have to do that when it comes to that.
so very excited about the moving to I want to say this the right way. Not the other one was the top of the line. We're moving to the top of the line for our residents. So just an update on that. That's all I have on fire. If you have anything else.
No.
Okay.
Admin?
Admin, I will be attending the Ohio Township Association today through Friday. Assistant Chief Goodspeed will be in charge. So if you need him for anything, if you do not have his number, please let me know and I will forward it to you. But he will be in charge for the next few days. Also, today we'll have the Kent Brimfield JED meeting and we need to leave by 9:30. So I need to quit talking. So just an update on that.
Under admin, Craig and I met virtually yesterday with the new HR department from Connected HR. So the HR staff will be coming on board next week. They're going to schedule a day with Craig. For our staff, they will have a set day of the week that they will be here. They'll be available 7 days a week to us, but there'll be a set day that they'll actually be on site for us.
Yeah, let me know so I can.
Come up and meet
Meet
them.
him, yep.
Yeah.
Did we pick a date at all of the week?
No, we were waiting to see what worked kind of, because we told her we were
Tuesday and
flexible.
Wednesdays would kind of be bad for us.
Okay.
From the fiscal office, doing payroll, doing all that kind of. So like a Thursday or Friday of the week would probably be the.
Well, we told her no Fridays because most people are out early on Fridays.
If we had a choice though, then I guess my favorite choice would be Thursday. That they were.
She's supposed to call me and I'll relay that.
Okay. All right. Monday would be second, I guess.
So, yeah, so we're waiting to hear from her, and they're always available too. So if we had questions when they weren't on site. And it's going to take her a few weeks to get her feet wet here with figuring out what we're doing. With that said, Roy, one question that's going to come back to you is, are we able to get her a license for Power DMS? And you can lock out the police side of it if we need to, but because we have the township manuals and stuff in there, so she can at least need initial access to that.
Okay.
And then that's just a tech piece that we got to figure out.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why that would be a problem.
Okay.
Just, I'm sure still got some available licenses on those. Double check that today.
Okay. And we did, as part of it, our contract, the attorney reviewed it. There's a confidentiality clause in there, public records clauses and stuff like that we went through with her. She does come with 14 years of experience with a large healthcare organization as their HR director, and worked with multiple union contracts there. So I think it's going to be a good fit for us. And we'll have an opportunity for everybody to meet with her when she's on board.
Was it the lady that was here?
No, this is a different company. We went with Connected HR.
How many years? 15, you said?
14 years as their HR director. And she worked in other locations beyond that too. So that's all I had under admin. Anything else? Okay, hearing none, we'll move into zoning and economic development.
Thanks. You have in front of you the actual zoning report. There's all the meetings are on there as well as some of the development stuff. But the next Board of Zoning Appeals hearing is February 16th at 7 o'clock, and we're working with Mark Adetti to set a date for the 2022 board annual training. That'll be either February or March. And then the next item I have is a request board approval to send the following addresses to the prosecutor's office for follow-up. And we could do each one separately. The first one is 3248 State Route 43. This one was in court back in 2016, and there was, we actually won that case, but he's back up to what he's doing again. So there's cars everywhere, old military equipment, everything next to the ice cream stand over there by Hilltop.
It has a sign opening soon.
It's sold or something.
I don't know what's going, I mean, we've sent them multiple violation letters. They never
So did Dick.
send anything back. So we're just going to take it back to court.
Okay.
Yeah, just I drove by one day and it said sold.
Right.
But they got to at least respond to the violation letter so we know what's going on.
Yeah.
So maybe the courts will make them respond.
Yeah.
All right, I'd like to make that motion to send 3248 State Route 43 to the prosecutor's office for follow-up.
42?
3248 State Route 43.
Okay, second.
All right, any discussion on that property?
Second.
Hearing none, roll call.
All those in favor, Nick or Mike?
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Next one is 3415 Mogador Road. This is garbage and debris.
They're just not responding either.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for 3145 Mogador Road to be sent to the prosecutor's office for follow-up.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
The next one I have is parcel number 0400900000000200 Malloy Road. This is an original complaint from residents in Sugar Maple. There's a business at the end. There's a little pond behind it. I think it's JBL or JBL Concrete. They're all listed there, and then they dump in the vacant lot right on the corner as you go to Powder Mill. It's all construction debris laying out.
Is that all one parcel?
So they're just using that partial for a dumping land right now?
Yeah, and a business.
Okay.
Yep.
Does the EPA need to be part of that since they're
We'll
dumping
follow
there?
them up when the prosecutor gets it. We're going to send it off to the EPA as well.
Okay.
Okay, so this complaint's for that dump?
For the dump and for the business.
Okay.
Because it's not zoned for that business,
It's
correct?
not zoned for a construction business.
I'd like to make the motion to send partial number 04-009-00-00-002-000 Malloy Road to the prosecutor's office for follow-up.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
And the last one I have is 1515 Queenstown Road. This is for a fence in the front yard. There's a neighbor dispute that's been going on for years back and forth between the two property owners. However, this one ended up putting a fence in the front yard. It doesn't have the opacity and it's doesn't have a zoning certificate. So they've said multiple times that they get it fixed, but they haven't. So we have to turn it over.
Okay. I'd like to make this motion to send 1515 Queenstown Road to the prosecutor's office.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, thank you.
With those, Mike, just real quick with those, is the prosecutor going to be able to handle all these? What was his response? Does he know they're coming?
Yeah, I mean, he knows they're coming. There's a couple other ones. You're aware of one of them that we have him looking at. So yeah, he knows that there's going to be quite a few coming.
Okay. I just know that they kind of get piled up sometimes.
They do, and we've got a good system right now running and tracking and keeping track of where we are. So Lauren's going to keep up monthly with monthly updates as these come in, and looks pretty good right now. So
Okay.
Is that Queenstown right in the corner?
no, it's not. It's actually in the middle of the street there. But they fight back and forth, the two neighbors, fence locations and sheds, and it's.
I just know that one right on the corner had a pool in the front yard for years,
Yeah.
attached to the front of the house.
Mhm.
I didn't know if that was the same house.
No, just a little bit further.
Do you know where T. Smith lives?
So the next thing is Brimfield signs. We have the ones on 43 done. Mike Woland is going to stake out the property over where the dog pound is, or whatever, the K9 unit near Talmadge. Once he does that, then Dave's going to come in with this tree guy, cut that down. I know that we're a little bit delayed because of COVID. I think the tree guy was sick for a while. So, but we're going to stake that out because we had some complaints with the neighbor next door. I want to make sure that might have to get staked twice. It might get staked out, trees come get removed, and then we might have to stake it again just to make sure we're not on the neighbor's property.
Did we resolve that tree issue with him?
We did. He was confused. He thought we were sticking a sign in the right of way, so he wouldn't be able to see out his driveway. But once he seen that it's beyond the poles, that he's fine with that.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that.
yeah, that can,
Neighbors.
Yeah.
that concludes my report.
All right. Anything for zoning today? All right. Hearing none. Thank you for the report. And we'll move on to road department.
I'd like to, I don't know, I'm all confused. I'm still sleeping. I haven't got much rest. So, just want to let the board know, we've been battling a lot of snowstorms here lately. The guys, we've been putting in a lot of hours. We got things cleaned up pretty decent right at the moment, except for some cul-de-sacs. I mean, we've been working on trucks. We've been having trucks break down in between storms, fixing minor issues and stuff. And we got an order in for some more salt. It's coming any day now. We probably, from the start of this 18-inch storm to now, we probably used close to 450 ton of salt. I mean, this weather is killing us because it's not getting above enough temperature where you got to put almost twice the salt down to do the job you normally would. So, because it doesn't work as well when you start getting down to these 15-degree temperatures and stuff. Just a little FYI, some of the issues we found during the snowstorms this time around, I got a lot of calls about plowing people's driveways. We don't plow driveways. I mean, I feel bad for some people because there's not a lot of guys out there doing it anymore. I'd like to make a list up of people, if somebody knows people plow, where I can give it to these people. You know, we're kind of looking into that. I was talking to Rochelle about it. So we hear people, we're going to make a list where we can tell people, hey, here's Joe Plow Guy, call him and see what he can do for you. We're having a lot of issues where, you hate to say it gets hit and it's sent off the road. So they were putting them out past the white line. So it is in the roadway itself. People cleaning their driveways. After we're done, they'll come through and they'll snow blow them and everything and leave a pile out in the roadway. Well, we don't make special requests to come back and clean it off because you blew it out in the road. It's making an issue for people driving through with their cars. I mean, I've seen people hit some of them things, and plus us, if you blow it out there and it refreezes overnight, it really puts a jar to the truck when they hit them in the daytime. So the signs must have worked a little bit. We've had less cars on the roadway parked in our way through these storms. People got them off the road, which thank the public for that. It helps us out a lot. And I do get a lot of complaints after a storm. We edge the roads off. We go back and we open them up. First, we open the roads up to get people to travel. Then we'll edge them back some more. And I got a lot of complaints. Well, you just blew my driveway shut again. Well, we have to make sure the roadways are completely open for, if you do get melting, the water gets off, doesn't go on the roads and refreeze. So we do push roads back after storms. It's just something we don't do as of that quick moment when we're trying to get through a big mess. So, and then with all that fun stuff said, I'd like to get the board's approval to accept ABC Landscaping for the mowing of the cemetery and police station contract for 2022 and 2023 for a cost of $30,000 per year. For they can take care of the cemeteries and the police station.
Okay, I will make that motion that we accept ABC Landscaping. The cost of
$30,000 per year.
$30,000 per year.
Second.
For discussion, it's just a 2-year contract?
Yes.
Okay.
They were the only bid.
They were, all right.
And they've been doing it for the last
And you
4
got no
years now.
complaints on them, so.
No.
Okay.
They're actually, I mean, Gary's really easy to work with. If I have an issue, I call him and resolves it. So
How long was our last contract?
2 years.
Oh, it was 2 years also. Okay.
I think this is our third time around.
Yeah, the one, I know I think like the first contract, they had an option of a third year and you didn't have, we just rolled with it. So
Okay.
they've been there for quite a while. So.
All right. No, they do a good job. All right,
Hey.
roll call.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right. And that concludes my report.
We also have road mileage acceptance. We need a motion on that. You have that exact mileage in front of you now
Oh, yeah.
for the motion.
Yeah, I can make that motion. I have it.
It's,
Second page, bottom.
the current mileage is 44.532.
And we're going to what?
4751.
So I'm gonna make that motion. We approve the new mileage.
I'll second that. And we're accepting 44.751 miles of road.
Correct. So we're moving to approve the 2021 Township Highway System mileage certification, new mileage 44.751.
Correct.
Okay, all those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
And you guys get that sent back to Mickey then?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, any questions for road department? Hearing none, we'll go into Parks and Rec.
All right. So last meeting I discussed one of my goals for 2022 is to work on Cranberry Creek Park. Last year I focused on Lions Park. This year it's Cranberry Creek. At the last meeting, we discussed me getting quotes for surveys for the park. So I got 2 different quotes from 2 different companies for a boundary survey and to set the pins. Campbell and Associates came back at $5,200 for the survey and $2,600 to set the pins. And then Dempsey came back at $8,000 for the survey, $4,500 to set the pins at 100 feet, and $2,500 to set the pins at 200 feet. So Dave and I discussed it. It's kind of expensive, honestly. It's more than I was anticipating. We think that we could easily create the trail without having to go right on the edge of
Staying
the
far enough off the lines. Yeah, I
right,
agree.
right. Unless you thought it was necessary to get the survey, I don't know that it's necessary to do that at this
I mean,
time.
just looking at that overhead map, I mean, it's fairly easy.
Right, right. The rear of the property is basically bordered by Brimfield Ditch anyway. We would just need to make extra care to stay away from the 2 houses that are on either side of the park. But other than that, I think we could stay within that boundary.
I agree. Did you ever, who is the property on the other side of the ditch? Is that Cranberry Creek?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the north, would that be northeast corner?
Yeah, the north side.
Yeah.
I think that's part of Cranberry.
Is that big partial Cranberry, is that big partial between us and the housing development?
I'm not positive on that, but I'd almost have to think so, because it's an Edison right away,
Right.
you know, easement. So.
Mike, do you know anything about that? If that's, is that bordered our park, Cranberry Creek now by the Brimfield Ditch?
Cranberry Creek, yeah, it does.
So what's that park gonna be? Just a green space?
Just green space.
Because it can't be
Because of the
developed, right?
wetlands
Yeah.
down in there.
Be nice if we could tie our parks into Cranberry Creek somehow. I don't know if there's a green space spot that we could get a
So,
walking path
Why don't
over.
they just donate it to the park?
We spent a ton of time where Cranberry Creek ties in, and Cassie was involved with this as well. We were trying to do a walking trail from the what Mike Wino built, you know, with the shelter and all that, and tie that all the way in is what the plan was. And Mike was willing to even put a gravel walkway in, but then there was too much wetland, soil and water with Portage County. It was all against it because of the wetlands. It was just too many obstacles we were hitting.
So that's all pretty much wetland, that whole area?
Yeah, they didn't want anything. Now there's ways of doing it. It's just nothing that the developer was willing to do with building bridges over the wetlands and things like that. But there's, you know.
But it may be a
potential.
long-term, 5-year goal for us to look
Yeah.
at and see what we can do for funding because it would just be nice, because Cranberry Creek and Sugar Maple have that nice walking path back there.
Oh, yeah, that's really.
Tie
nice.
that all together. I think it just gives better
Well,
utilization.
those pictures that Cassie had of the ditch were pretty.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
very
pretty
nice back
area.
there.
Yeah.
Have they ever considered just donating it to Brimfield? What are they gonna do with it?
Yeah, I could ask him, yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice, it could really, I mean, look at that, it could really add to the park.
Well, but not only that, but if we could find a way, if there's a partial there that we can connect into their sidewalks, I think
Sure.
it helps their development, but it also helps us get community down to these park events then.
I mean, they can say it's if you bought a house with the backyard as a park,
Right.
people might like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
there's
it's-
no way it could ever be any more homes, right?
No, I mean, other than the hickory oak that's going in that winds
But I
back
mean,
around with the.
Right
trees,
over
too.
here, this whole area.
Yeah, that doesn't look like, I think that's wet in there, so.
It looks dry from here.
I'll go out there with you. It's not.
No, I'm just talking like up here.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty wet back there.
But yeah, I think that's just, as we're talking about goals and stuff, it's,
That'll make.
don't only focus in on this year, think 5 years from now, because a project like that could cost some money and take us some time to invest in.
Yeah.
I would just, grab the areas that you want, and then we'll sit down and take a look at it and look at the maps and see what's wet and see what the power companies own and what we can actually take.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's definitely doable. Just with a little bit of red tape, I think we could get around it.
I think if they were donating stuff, I think you need some variances
Yeah.
for the green space. Cranberry Creek, we have to go back to the board and then let them grant variances based off the amount of green space they have and then donate to us. I mean, I think it has to be on record. So
Right.
I don't think they'd be opposed to it. They don't, what are they gonna do with it?
Well,
Right.
if you think about it, just mention it to them.
I mean, it helps the HOA out to not have to deal with it,
Be nice if we had that.
right?
And then if anybody gets a chance, I know Hickory Oak looks beautiful. I don't know if anybody drove the new pavement going back in there into Sugar Maples, but those lots are gonna be very popular here, so.
Are they already plotted out?
Yeah, they're all laid out. You could drive down the street and see, and then they'll start putting the numbers in. All the utilities are going in right now as far as utility trenching, but you could drive down. Dave and I have been out there several times. And
Does it connect in?
yeah, it connects into Sugar Maple
When do you foresee homes?
this spring.
Are they doing all custom built back there?
They're doing custom built for the first 5 or 6 coming out of Sugar Maple, and then the rest of it will either be Ryan or Pulte or somebody, but they're gonna set the standard with their custom homes, and then, from there on, they'll try to match the exterior.
Okay. All right.
The other quote that I was working on was for the dog park fencing. Just wanted to see what a cost would be to get either galvanized chain link fencing or plastic coated chain link fencing. I went to Lowe's and the cost was around $15,000. So I'm going to get a couple more quotes and see what we can do with that. But just for my information, what it would cost to get that replaced, because it's
Cassie, for Lowe's, they have, like they did the gazebo
Mhm.
as a employee project. For fencing for the dog park or fencing anyplace else, you might put in a request for them to do a grant.
Yeah.
For the fencing.
Yep, that's definitely an option. And then I'm probably going to go for the Bark for Your Park dog park grant again. That was $5,000, I think. So if I could get that, that could offset the cost as well.
Have you talked to some fencing companies yet?
No, I just went to Lowe's first, but I'm going to go to some other ones.
Something
Yeah.
to get a better price for fencing companies.
Well, and they'll do all the extra work, and the other piece is, they could always advertise that way. That
Yeah.
saves us some money.
Yep.
Fencing installed by, I don't know, there's Daniel's Fencing down the road in Ravenna. There's tons of fencing companies, but it'd be worth looking into.
Yep. And then update on the 2 park properties we're looking at acquiring on the half-acre property on Selnick Road and then the Edson Road property. We did do the deed and title searches for those. With Bennett Land Title, they both came back clear. I talked to Sabrina. We went over them. She said she didn't see anything that she found troubling. She said if you wanted to run it by your legal counsel, you could, but we didn't see anything troubling. Interesting result, though. The piece that's here at Lions Park actually was once part of the park. It was owned by the Lions Club and sold, I think, in the early 80s. So we're actually getting a piece of the park back in a roundabout way.
That's probably how the water tower got there too. I was just thinking of that. They probably
Sold a piece to the
Yeah.
county.
Yeah, that's what
Yep.
happened.
And
So
then,
what we need to, sorry to me interrupt, but with these, all we need to do now,
Yeah, I will.
we were waiting for these to come back before we finalized anything, so we just need to get all the paper together. We told him we were gonna pay him in February, so we're on track to do that. And it's free. We pick up the taxes though. The first half of 21, we're gonna have to pick up.
Is it worth just having this run by legal counsel real quick, just to triple check it? Just so that we don't run it. I mean, because this would be a quick review for them, but it would make me feel a little better if we dot our i's, both of them, just have them.
No, which,
I don't care which one they want to use, whoever your office wants to use for title.
okay.
Chance cheaper.
and then under new business, Brian and I have been working with the credit card system. That was one of the things he's been tasked with for 2022. On the parks end of it, we are working together to build, I'm probably the most complicated piece of this because I have the booking calendar for all of the different parks facilities. So we've been working together to put together how that's going to look as far as not only do I have parks facilities, but I'm going to have fees for programs, donations, if we ever want to sell like T-shirts or something like that. We're just working through the ways that we would do that for the new payment system. So
We're also considering putting a limit on what we would take for credit card payments. So I don't want to take a $10,000 zoning permit for a building by a credit card, because we're gonna have to decide how we eat the credits, or the credit card fees. One of the things I was thinking about, we're just gonna eat it for the groups under 200, because it's a convenience fee for us to have them just do it online and not have to come in and do all that. But we're gonna put a stipulation in there on the number. It was 250, right? That was your max. 250 is probably gonna be the max.
What would affect zoning though? I mean, even if they go to 500, but I'm saying if they get, you know, if 90% of their charges are 500 or less, maybe it's worth taking it up to 500. You know what I mean? Just looking at I don't know what your average charge is for zoning.
I mean, like fences, pools, decks, stuff like that's $50. I mean, for residential, it's probably more of a convenience for the residents.
Okay.
On their fees, conditional uses variances are $250. So if you want to up it at $50, if somebody
It's $250.
it's $250 to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
And that's the highest one that you're gonna have unless it gets really high.
Well, once you start getting into commercial, everything's over $2. There's nothing.
And those are the ones I don't want to accept by a credit card.
Right,
Just a
and
check.
most of the companies give us a check anyway.
For the variances, is it just a single 250 fee for all the variances, or is it 250 per variance?
Per variance.
Okay, so is it worth just making it a flat 500 if they had 2 variances on their property, or just do multiple
Well, there'd be
charges?
there'd be 2 charges.
Okay.
Let's just keep it at 250.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I know we don't want the big charges in zoning, but looking at what their numbers are to maximize our use of that.
That keeps it with the residents. They can use the credit cards, and the businesses could continue to write checks, and they have no problem with doing that.
And the hassle of it's better for us.
Right.
If they just do it on, that saves employee work on it, it's done. We don't even have to worry about it. So the amount of the credit card fee, the 3% is worth our time not having to, handle it. Because eventually it'll be nice down the road where they don't even have to talk to you to reserve something online.
yeah,
They can reserve it, put their money in, pay for it, it'll all be done. Print it
yeah,
all off on the computer.
it's difficult for people to get to the office
Right.
from 8 to 4. It's when most people work. So
Okay.
So we're getting ready to
So
finalize that.
you're going to bring that to the board then?
When we get it all
When
finished, yeah.
you get finished up, okay.
Yeah, we were just coming up with the numbers, and
Is it getting close?
Brian was working on it pretty hard.
Well, Brian's really got most of it done. I was talking to him this morning. He's just kind of at a standstill till fiscal gets their fiscal policies put together. Then he can move forward with the rest
Well,
of
and
it.
then I talked to her Monday about the number that we were thinking about, so once I put something together, he said it's gonna be 250. And anything, do you have a policy in place right there now in a Word document that we can just change around?
for
The charges and the fees and all that?
I do, but not for credit card.
Well, send that one over and we'll just change that policy for the credit card, and then we'll bring you guys to approve.
Yep.
And then there's some signage we have to post, stuff like that too.
For credit cards?
Yeah. Talk to Brian. Brian sent over a whole packet. There were some things that we needed to do
Okay,
as
all right.
part of that.
And that was all I had.
Okay. Anything for Parks and Rec? All right. Hearing none, we'll move into cemetery. Sue, any updates on the cemetery?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll move into fiscal office. John, the floor is yours.
Okay, we need to approve the first half draws from the Portage County Auditor. So I need a motion for that.
I will make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed. That's all I needed.
All right. Any questions for fiscal today? All right. And then no executive actions on the agenda today. I will open it up for the good of the order. Any comments from the public or board members? Department heads. Hearing none. All right. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will second.
Roll call.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
we are closed at 8:53 a.m.
All right. All closed.
That was quick.